Yo, what's up guys? It's King Reggie, and I am back with a new video today. Now I know I haven't posted in a while, but I am back, and in this video I'm going to be giving you the best Apex Legends warm-up and aim training video. But before we start, please give this video a like if you found it helpful, and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy content like this. Let's get into it. Now before I explain this first exercise, I kind of just want to talk about that I know that there is aim labs and Kovacs that can help you with your Apex Legends aim training, but this video is just going to be mainly focused on in the Apex firing range, and I developed kind of this routine that I have. All this video you see is pre-recorded because this is usually the routine that I'll run through, but still this is all in the Apex firing range. And this is exercise 1. I don't know really what you want to call it, but I kind of call it just strafing 101 or just strafing in general. What you want to do is you want to grab a wingman and you want to head to a dummy. And when you're at the dummy, you want to center the crosshair on the dummy and then strafe left to right. But you want to focus on keeping the crosshair on the dummy as much as possible when you're strafing left to right. Now this is going to teach you how to keep target when you're strafing left and right, when you're in a fight and you're strafing left to right and the person's either moving or you're either moving. This will help you kind of just keep your target centered. And it'll also let you know that maybe your sensitivity is too high, maybe you need to turn it down, or maybe you just need to turn it up a little bit. But you really want to work on this to kind of keep everything in center and even train your eyes to stay centered on your target and even look past your crosshair to the target and keep your crosshair on the dummy. Now in doing this, you want to do it for about a minute, and you also want to mix up your strafe left to right, maybe move left, move right, move back, forth. Maybe you can add some shots in there to see if your shot's going to be on. Or do anything like that and do it for about a minute and then move on to the next exercise. Doing this warm-up routine, you really want to pick out a few of these exercises to do in a day. Spend about 5 to 10 minutes because really you just want to get into the fights and get into an Apex match so that you can really put this to the test. But in your warm-up, it's just full warm-up, so you want to take about 5 to 10 minutes, pick a couple exercises, work on those that you want to work on for the day, and then move on and get into a game instantly and kind of practice these skills while you're in a game. Exercise number 2, I like to call wingman flicks. You're going to grab the wingman, you're going to stand in the center of this platform, and then you're just going to start using the wingman and flicking it left to right, hitting the target, dummy, target, left, right, left, right, left, right, and then you want to finish hitting the target 2 more times. Now this really is just going to warm up your hand and warm up your aim movement from flicking from one target to the next target. But the main focus of this exercise, you want to focus on hitting all the shots. And if you're not hitting all the shots, then maybe you want to slow it down and just focus on hitting the dummy, hitting the target, and so on and so forth. And then you'll start to get into a little bit of a rhythm where you're going left, right, and then you kind of might maybe get a little bit lazy, then just slow it down again. But main thing is to just flick from target to target. It'll help your tracking, help your flicking. And to do this, you really want to just grab about 100 rounds and then empty 100 rounds by doing this routine. Now, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit, you can maybe try and hit headshot, 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 headshot. And that can be a little bit more challenging. But overall, this is kind of going to help you also hone in your sensitivity, as well as get your hands warm and get ready with your wingman flicks, or just from switching from target to target with any weapon in general. Exercise number 3 is the HIPFIRE strafing. Now for this, you want to just grab the R99 purple mag, and then you want to go over to a dummy and you just want to start hip firing, bobbing and weaving. And then this will help you practice your hip fire shooting and just your hip fire strafing, because in Apex Legends, hip fire is very dominant and it's very strong. So you want to learn how to hip fire more, and doing this hip fire strafing and moving is going to help you be more consistent with your hip fire strafing, and also be more ready to be hip firing, and then you can gauge your ranges by moving at different ranges. But yeah, this is just mainly for you to just practice your hip fire strafing, maybe add a little crouch spam in there, move around left, right, bob, and try and one clip the dummy the best you can. Exercise number 4 is going to be reactive aiming. Now again, in this exercise, yeah, I have the R99, but you can use any weapon again with this too. What you want to do with reactive aiming is that you want to either start from a hip fire and go to aiming down your sights, or go from aiming down sights to hip fire. And by doing this, you're kind of just training your aiming to be able to switch in the middle of the combat, where maybe someone is closer to you than you expected and you aim down sights, they're close, so you want to then back out of aim down sights, go straight to hip fire. It's kind of just going to train you to be quicker with that decision making of oh, I need to hip fire. Oh, I'm going to aim down my sight so I'm a little bit more precise. So you want to do this, you want to go about 3 to 5 different sets, one clip the dummy about 3 to 5 times, and just work on that reactive aim training of aiming down sights, hip firing, aiming down sights, alternate, just kind of mix it up. Give yourself a little bit of a challenge by mixing it up yourself, by kind of being more inconsistent so that you maybe have to react a little bit. This is exercise 4. You want to do reactive aiming. Exercise number 5 is going to be mid-range for the SMG and the AR. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to grab the R9 purple mag, grab the R301 purple mag, or you can even do flatline, car, any weapon really. But you want to just going to want to move to the middle of the platform, and you're going to want to shoot the moving target that's moving left to right. Now this exercise is going to help you focus on your mid-range tracking, moving left to right. And for this drill, you're going to want to try and hit as many bullets as you can. I'd say for beginners with the R9, you're going to try and get 200 if you can on the damage. If you're a little bit better, more experienced, I'd say aim for about 250 and up. 297 is max for the R9. I forget what the R301 is, but you're going to try and get at least 270, 290 if you're experienced. And with the R9, you're going to want to get over 350 as well. So we use this exercise, work mid-range, I'd say about 3 to 5 sets of getting over either 270 or 270 with the R99 or 400 with the R301. Try not to get any less. Try and push yourself each time you shoot. But yeah, about 3 to 5 sets. Exercise number 6 is just going to be long range SMG and AR. This is the same as the mid-range. And it's going to just be this far target that is moving left to right. Now on controller, this might be a little bit more challenging than on mouse and keyboard. But with this, you want to try and get as much as you can into this far target. And this will just help you get your tracking down a little bit farther so that maybe you can beam people from farther. And it will really just gauge your distance. Same thing that applies is that you want to see how much you can get. And I'd say for the R301, I can get about 200. So I try and get over 200 every time. So I hit that pretty consecutively. Then I'm going to try and push myself. Maybe I'm going to get 210 or 220, maybe 250. And then maybe with the R9, I'm going to try and get over 200. Or maybe I'm going to try and get 220. But either way, you want to use whatever weapons you want. And you want to try and push yourself to get as much as you can. And it's still about the same thing. You're still going to only want to run about 3 to 5 sets of getting over your desired amount of damage. Exercise number 7 is really just going to be an AR warm-up. Now in this video, I got the R301. And I'm going to be one clipping all these dummies from sitting from behind this rock. Now I have the R301, but you can use any AR that you want. You can use the flatline, you can use the hemlock, you can use any AR that you really want to. You can even use the scout or whatever. But get an AR, get a purple mag, and then try and one clip these dummies from behind this rock. This is going to really help you dial in your recoil pattern because it's at a far enough distance where you're going to have to use the recoil a little bit. But it's also not so far where it's going to make it a little bit difficult, where you should be able to one clip these dummies pretty regularly if you practice this enough. Now don't put any attachments on your AR, just nothing but the extended magazine, just so that you can push yourself a little bit more so that the recoil isn't as affected. But I would say run this exercise about 2 to 3 times through, moving left to right through all the dummies. So I'd say 2 to 3 times, and shooting the dummies, trying to get a one clip on each dummy. Exercise number 8, I'd say it's kind of like movement shooting. Now none of these exercises has a specific order that I go in. This is kind of just how I did it and how I recorded it. But it's going to be like movement shooting, where we're going back to the R9, back to any submachine gun you want to use per se. And you're just going to want to start running around, moving, shooting the dummy. You can tap strafe, shoot the dummy, but kind of just focus on transferring from not looking at the dummy to looking at the dummy and then clipping the dummy, all in the same sense. So that's why I say like maybe incorporate some tap strafing, maybe do some wall bounces, this or that, because you want to kind of just work on switching your eyes from one target to the next. So if you're moving one way, to then flick your eyes back to the target and dial in on the target so that you can try and hit as many shots as possible. This is kind of like reactive aiming, but maybe with a little bit extra step, maybe with a little bit more movement of not looking at the dummy, looking at the dummy. And run this exercise for maybe about a minute 2 minutes, or just however much you're having fun with it, you know, kind of just to warm yourself up, warm your shot up, warm your movement up a little bit. Exercise 9 and 10, we're really just focusing on shotguns. Now in this exercise, I got the Peacekeeper. I'm doing some tap strafing with the Peacekeeper. My main focus is to tap strafe, hit my PK shot, center mass, so that I'm getting the most out of my PK shot. And I mean, you don't have to tap strafe, but it's more so moving around with the Peacekeeper, flicking to the target, hitting the target, and getting as most pellets as you can to hit. So you can do a lot of damage. You want to try and hit like 90s, 50s, because you want to be able to utilize your Peacekeeper so you're not just like, you know, whiffing all of your shots. You're going to do this exercise for maybe about a minute, maybe 2 minutes max. You don't want to spend too much time on it, because this won't really simulate in game with the Peacekeeper because the dummy isn't moving. But this will just get your flicks on point so that you can move from target to target, or if your target moves, then you can hit the target as well. And then after this, you're going to just have the EVA 8. And the EVA 8 has been a dominant shotgun in Season 14, so you really need to learn how to use it. And so by this, you want to just take the EVA 8, you just want to shoot it, try and hit in the center of the dummy, try and get the most out of your shots. Maybe throw in a little crouch here and there, but just try and knock the dummy down and move, bounce around with the EVA 8, because it's a very powerful shotgun. And because it has the semi-auto, you can be a little bit more versatile. You don't have to be so concise with your shots, but you want to be consistent that you're able to hit them, especially when you're moving and they're moving. So do this exercise for maybe about another, you know, like I said, minute, or even just get about 50 rounds in your shotgun and just start blasting off all these shots. Every time you load up Apex, before you hop into any games, you should warm up for about 5 to 10 minutes, 15 minutes max. And you want to pick 2 or 3 of these exercises that I gave you and work on those and try to master those exercises, and then move on to another set of exercises. You want these exercises to improve your weaknesses and also sharpen your strengths. And having a good warm-up routine can improve your overall skill more than you think. Again, like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.